He's got a lot to say, y'all.
We
You
have a
hear it?
lot to go through. Absolutely. And I'm also going to be blotting off because, I felt like I was always like I don't know. I felt like I was a combination skin, and now I feel like I'm moving towards oily. And maybe it's also the environment. But who knows? So watch us on YouTube because we do have a YouTube. And you'll just see me blot
Yes.
off.
Well, it is the summertime, so you got to give grace to your skin. But when that winter comes, you'll be dry as my elbows, okay? So,
Okay.
if you don't know who you're listening to right now, this is the you know what? Fuck
Huh?
it. Let me try this again. Sorry.
What?
Okay, let's try this again, guys. This is the Just Extra podcast with Jackie and Erica. I am Jackie.
And I'm Erica. Yes. Hopefully the cat ain't got your tongue the whole episode, okay? Because like we said, we have a lot to get through. We are talking about family matters, okay? We're having a family meeting. Thanks for being a part of our community and our family, and we're going to talk about it. Y'all know I have already been talking about my little saga with my stepmom and my family drama and who loves me and I don't know. So we're just gonna continue it in the meat of this episode. But you know how we do, okay? We always start with some extra thoughts on our last episode. We were talking about the boy is mine. The boy is mine. Question mark though, because who got a man? Not me. Not you. Hopefully, some of our listeners are out here giving us some good faith. So, Jackie, what are your extra thoughts?
Extra thoughts from last episode. I thought it was pretty good. I really loved the flow of the episode. So again, apologize for my earlier fumble, but that's okay. We're all human. So let me tell you guys. I tried to give, meeting in real life a real chance because we talked about meeting guys, in real life versus meeting on Hinge. We'll get to that eventually, but let me tell you. So, my friend, so y'all know Earlene, we talk about her every
Hey,
episode.
girl.
So, she had her friends Angel and Antoinette come into town, and, we're outside and we're trying to see, hey, what hoes at? Where they at though? Right? So this time I decided to, I met somebody at what's that one place? Urban Social. Y'all know
Mm-hmm.
Urban Social. It's a, it's a very
Urban.
small place.
Social.
Yes. Oh, it's not bad. The drinks are pretty heavy. So if you know, if you're in Houston. And I met this guy and he seemed like he was a nice guy. Long story short, not so much. So I decided to, hey, let's hang out further after Urban Social. I don't know, maybe it was the liquor, maybe it was the, who knows? Or maybe his mask fell off. This man told me, your body would be so you're good now, but you would be a 10 if you worked out.
Listen, I'm not coming for you, but this man was old. He was here for his daughter's like graduation. I don't know. I don't know. I saw him and I ignored him. So the
I
fact
mean,
that you not only engaged in conversation with him, but also we're like, yeah, let's go afties. I was thoroughly surprised because that is an old man, and I thought we were just trying to be on a. We didn't like them no more. I just thought we were on a different page.
right? Didn't I just say in the last episode I want somebody in my age range? No, see, this time I was just like, oh, he seemed like a nice person. I normally don't do the salt and pepper like that, but he wasn't bad looking. Like his face is actually nice. Yeah, and my thing is, my nigga, you talk about me working out, you got a whole dad bod. Like, you got titties, my nigga. It be those niggas with the audacity that tell you want a bitch with a Coke bottle shape. I'm sorry, I'm already cursing. But you want somebody with a Coke bottle shape and, to the tens. And you look like a two. You're shaped like the letter D, a bell pepper, if you will. But I digress. This is why we don't meet in real life. No, I'm just kidding.
No, this
No,
is why
we
we use discernment. Okay.
Granted, Erica, we don't have the same type of men anyway. We'll get into
Also
that
true.
later.
Yeah,
So you just wouldn't go for it
I
anyway.
wouldn't have. Yeah, true. No shade. So for me, my extra thoughts. So, yeah, meeting men in real life. The gentleman that was like, why do I want to call him like the Yin Yang twins? Don't they have the whisper song? Some. So I
Oh,
just wanted
one
to
of them
give
has a
him.
small arm too.
Really?
Yes,
Interesting. Okay. Well, wait, are we talking about a dick or like a literal small arm?
like a little arm.
Oh,
Keep
okay.
going, keep going.
Okay. So basically, I just said that because I'm like, what should we call this man who whispered in my ear? Yin Yang Twins. Anyway, so that man, was celebrating a birthday. Okay, so I know I said I hadn't heard from him, um, and he was out of town celebrating his birthday. I still have not heard from him though. Okay, so I know you're back in town. So you're still also back on the bad list because at first I was like, let me give you some grace, and then I was like, no, you're back on the list because now you're back in town and looking at my stories every day. So still exists. Who are you? Where are you at? That's
Can
it.
I say something? Can I say
Yeah.
something about people who look at stories? Some people are like, "Why are you looking at my stories and you don't fuck with me?" It's very easy for somebody to look at your stories. I know for me, there's people who I don't particularly care for, but when I'm scrolling, it's it. Oh, well, let's see what you up to. It's very light, very surface level.
Yeah.
Don't think too much in it.
Maybe because I'm petty, and as soon as I land on your stories and I know we're not talking, then you'll get my first view for your first story, and then I get out. But you look at all of my clips, so why are you still here? But yeah, I agree. Yeah, we all got phones. We all be click, 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 click. I landed on something. Click, click, click. Past it. Yada, yada, yada. But you have my phone number. Why aren't you using it? That's why I'm upset. So you saw me. It was a reminder that I exist in real life, and you should be using your phone number, like my phone number, to like contact me. So yeah, you're back on the naughty list. Thanks. All right. Yay. Thanks for the extra thoughts. Moving right along to our little catch up. Catch 'em up, Jack.
Okay, well, I've been sick, so that's my main catch up. I probably sound a little. Do I still sound a little congested?
Mm, no, not really. Maybe a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, I'm a little better. So I have been literally sick. So, the continuation of that day. That day I met that dude to tell me, "Hey, you need to work out, bitch." You know, I actually smoked a hookah. I don't smoke hookah. I really don't smoke at all, you guys. I'm very, clean in that aspect, not, by choice. And I figured out why. I get sick every time I touch hookah. And I've been sick. So I feel like I had a case of bronchitis and nasal drip, post nasal drip, and it's just disgusting. So I just been out for the count this week. The most I did was go see a movie. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, everything that has happened this week, I just haven't been able to do. And I mean, it was good though. Mommy got to sit down a little bit and rest. It's been a great week. I can see why people stay at home. It's just so peaceful, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But don't smoke dirty hookahs, y'all. Hookahs are bad for y'all. It was just a trend. It was cute. But
Yeah.
y'all, put those down. Put the
I
sturdy
like to
sticks down.
I be like bumming it, Like I don't have my own personal and I don't go on my own. Like if that's where we are going and if that's what someone else is getting, then yeah, you know, you know, yeah.
No, you be doing a little bit more than that. You be like, give me that shit.
Okay, I thought that was the emphasis was I thought I did enough, obviously. Okay.
Girl, we be walking out. You like, hold on. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes it be like sparking a girl, get a little head high.
Yeah, that's okay. You got a little nicotine
But
addiction, so
I do feel like it has impacted my throat as well. So,
I do notice you do randomly cough sometimes. So
I actually have been doing a lot better on my random coughs, but like this recent, like that night, and then even a thing that I'll talk about when I do a little catch up, we had some hookah, and I just feel like the sickness that you're talking about, I feel it, and I know we aren't talking about DC either, but I'm like, I hope that don't impact that ish, because I do feel like I feel it in here, so we're just gonna try and be nice to ourselves.
well, catch us up. What's up?
So I did a happy hour with our lovely like I'm like, should I stop saying the company now? Like, are we getting big? So with our little corporate folks, okay, so in recognition of Juneteenth, okay, honoring our liberation. Shout out to everybody being free. Let's try and get more free because these hoes is still trying to hold us down. Ain't finna do it, okay? On their necks like they on our necks, okay? Anyway, so I did a happy hour with these folks. Always a good time with them. I enjoy it. There was and we had our own little area of this bar, the Savoy, and yeah, people were, getting their drink on. We were just taking shots, chatting it up. I was definitely pubbing our podcast. So we got a couple of new followers on Instagram, on the Spotify, I'm sure. I was having a conversation with someone that we've met before and have engaged with, and he was like, yeah, I listened to a couple episodes, and he was just like swiping through our episodes, and I could see like some of the green bars. I could also see some green bars again that were like only started but not like full. And I was like, oh my god, you should totally listen to your episode, The Broken Hearts and Happy Hours. Like, that was the first time I think that we really talked about y'all, so you should listen to y'all's episode. It's a good episode too. Not on YouTube because I was popped that recording. I think I started, I've been crying every day since that song. But yes. Okay,
I wish the audio was good in that. I wish the audio was better in that episode too. That was the episode I did not connect my mic, and I hated myself for that. So.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta go back and listen. But y'all should still listen. It's still good content, okay? But yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I wanted to bring up from this catch up, sorry, there's like fruit flies. I'm not a good plant mom, y'all. But yeah, the only thing that I wanted to bring up from that happy hour is that one of the people was like interested in their coworker. Like, oh, who is she? Like, who's that? Like, blah, blah, blah. I guess, it's a big corporation. They don't know everybody. And I was like, oh, you should talk to her. And, he was like, I don't know. Like, we work together, like, la, la. I was like, oh yeah. So not getting into like their business, but I'm also like, maybe this is a future topic. Like, would you date a coworker? Have you dated a coworker? Like,
I already got an answer for you. I don't normally shit where I eat, so.
I got an answer for you. I've rode several dick at several places of employment, even in the building, the parking lot, and outside.
I'm so happy you have a job.
I'm so happy I have a job.
I'm so happy you have a job because.
Yeah, that's it. That's my catch up. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Oh, so on a mutual catch up, we did go see Bad Boys. So then we're going to go ahead and get into our extra. All right, y'all. This is a heftier week as far as extra. So if we did sound like we were rushing, we were. So let's go ahead and get started. Calm down. You got it, little mama.
I'm like, there's so much to talk about. Okay, go ahead. Start us off. Bad Boys. We saw it.
Yes. First of all, the weather. First off, Houston weather is so funny. We were supposed to have a tropical storm. It was supposed to flood 8-10 inches. And I'm like, okay, so should we go see Bad Boys? Because we are already a week behind. And, obviously if we weren't going to go, I was just going to see that shit on bootleg. I don't care. Like, okay, I spent $6 on a ticket. That's fine. I'll just watch it off a website and call it a day. Sorry, Will. You just want to go get my $6, okay? Well, you already got my $6. I'm just not going to go. I'm not going to spend it again, okay? But look, so we ended up going to go see Bad Boys. And I had a good fucking time watching it. I'm going to say clap it up for Will Smith because here's the thing. I'm not going to cancel you over no Chris Rock. I'm so sorry. You're defending your, we're not going to go into that. You weren't supposed to do that on white people stages. You're not supposed to do that.
I've defended my loved ones with violence, so I can't have nothing to say.
So, I mean, hey, you weren't supposed to do that there. You were supposed to smack his ass behind the stage, in my personal opinion. And so it'll turn into a he say, she say thing like Glorilla and JT. But, I'm not gonna, he did a great job. They both did a great job. Martin Lawrence and Will. I had a good time.
I would like to shout out my new husband, Jacob Scipio. Okay. He is so hot. So fine.
Not you looked up my man.
I looked him up. He is 31 years old. He's British. He has an accent, y'all. Okay, and I forgot his
Wow.
sign. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's my husband,
What
and
is
we
his
will be
sign? Let's look it
together.
up. You know I love
I
that
think
shit.
is he January? So I think he's a Cap. I don't remember. I don't
Oh
remember what he
yeah,
said his
he's
birthday
definitely
is.
he'll definitely date me, and then you can have him
Back
after.
up off my man, first and
Uh
foremost.
nah.
Back up.
Back up. You can
You
have
know
him
this is
after
a
I'm
quintessential
done.
my type. Okay, you don't go for no, no. This is my man.
No, facially, you'd be surprised if you looked at my past. You'd be like, oh, he kind of looks like an ex or two, you know. So yeah, he has that the face. We're not going off of skin color. We're just going off of like
Hey,
face.
I'm not trying to go off. I can't help it that the faces I'm attracted to are usually on a fairer set skin. It's not my. Oh my god, I know. Okay, this is gonna be a long episode. I had a dream that I had a man. I had a
Really?
dream that I had a man, and he was just showering me, and just wanted to touch up on me. We were just like cozying up, and I was like, "Oh, babe."
You're seeing the future, girl. It's not, you
He
know.
was a chocolate, tall man. Chocolate girl.
Whoa,
Darker,
chocolate.
darker than us. Like real chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yes,
Oh
girl.
my gosh.
Yes. I'm like, is this darker than me? Like he was real chocolate. Okay, branding. Sponsor us. So beautiful. And then I woke up.
Mm.
I
Okay,
wanted to
we'll
go back to
see.
sleep so bad.
I bet you did. Look, ain't nothing wrong with the big and chocolate, okay? You,
Jacob, you still my man, though. Okay, that was a dream. Apparently, this
it's
is
our
still a dream too.
man. Our man.
No, but okay.
No.
You're not trying to have no threesome.
Girl, threesome, what you mean? I said you could have him after me, okay? That's my first
I,
husband. It'd be your
I'm trying to have
next.
him
There you go.
first. Okay, but giving you a
Yeah,
little play. That's it.
that's
All
okay.
right. Speaking of bad boys, you want to talk about others? Justin Timberlake.
Did you like the movie?
I like the movie. That's my husband. Of course, I support his movie.
Wait, just because somebody's hot, did you enjoy the movie?
No, I
Let
was
me
watching
just
the movie like this. Okay, I was watching the movie through my hands. I am not a violence. I am not an action. But there was like comedy. That's why I already knew. I've seen the Bad Boys, like I don't know, whatever it's called, trilogy. There's 4 movie now, so I don't know. Whatever it's called, series, whatever. I've seen it. They're all good, you know. Comedy. The violence isn't too violent, you know. Like it's not like super gore, super out here. Cause yeah, I got a weak stomach. Okay, so yeah. Otherwise, I enjoyed it. I was up. That was my. How could I not? My man was on the screen. It's a beautiful specimen, man. For no other reason, go see it. Jacob Scipio, I am on your A now. I follow you. Thank you.
damn, you followed him too.
I
Ooh,
sure do. So my man first. You don't even follow him.
girl, it's gonna be
You didn't even
bad.
know his name.
We just
I
gonna run
said
into each
January
other. I'll
birthday.
be like,
Whose man is it?
damn. I'm just running to him, and then I'll be like, you'll never guess who I met, girl. He's my boyfriend now.
I will kill you. And that is the
Oh,
next episode of Snapped. Okay?
we both saw him at the same time, and you just got extra, extra. But that's okay. That's the
Yeah.
name of the show. So,
Yes, I
well,
put
not
the E
extra,
in it.
extra. You put a little E in that shit. Okay. Come
Okay,
on
so
over
Justin
here.
Timberlake. Can we talk about him? Are you pulling
Okay.
this man up?
Speaking, yeah. How did
What are
you
you
know?
looking at? I can see you are distracted, and only my man can do that. Okay? Not JT. Okay? He is definitely embodying that crusty dusty ain't did well as a white person face. Okay?
Let's
Sorry.
see.
Your past is catching up to you. Okay? Free Britney. Okay? Bring back Janet. Justice for Janet. Okay?
See, the ghost of Michael Jackson has come back to bite him in the ass because you don't do that to his sister. Okay, now if you guys don't know, Justin Timberlake got arrested for a DUI. Okay, now allegedly, and we're gonna have a huge allegedly,
Oh.
he got caught with a bunch of items, honey. Somebody said poppers. I'm like, poppers? What kind of shit you on? Like, pop. That is hilarious. They said
I didn't
Molly
know
poppers.
that.
I'm like, you trying to have a time, okay? And if you
Wait,
look
hold
at his,
on. Why am I like, I mean, he do got a member of the group, okay? A member of the group
Somebody
that
said,
might be putting him
"Oh,
on. He might be.
it's gonna be a time. That ass
All
is
alleged.
ready."
That
Okay.
world tour is gonna be a real world tour. We really finna explore.
Wait, what they said? How you doing?
How you doing?
No, did you see? Did you see Justin Timberlake's mugshot?
No, I didn't see the mugshot. Mm-mm.
Oh, he got those eyes are red. He had those Molly eyes. His eyes was like,
I heard he was going around the restaurant bar being like drinking other people's drinks, drinking after people, just taking everybody's
damn.
drinks. That's
You
what
know
I
you
heard.
fuck. That's a
Allegedly.
dirty time. As somebody who has done that before, that is a
But
dirty.
you
You are
have
too far gone
so much money. Why are you drinking after other people? You could literally
because
buy
you're
85 billion
fucked up.
bottles.
Because you're
Yeah.
fucked up. You don't
No, clearly.
care. You have nothing better to do. I feel like once you hit a certain amount of money, there's like nothing entertains you but like just
Breaking the law.
like crime. Yes, like
Seriously.
crime
We
and
gonna
like
continue our bad boy saga, okay? Because Kanye West, honey,
okay. Well, look,
baby, you doing the shy dirty right now. Stop it. You've been doing it, but please stop. It's your girl
I think that
asking you to please stop.
I feel like Chicago stopped claiming him after he started doing that wild, like, slavery was a choice thing. Like, I think well after Yeezus, like, he just started going down this path that people were just like, that doesn't really give truth to the game. So I'm so sorry. I don't know too much about the story. So come on, what's up? What did he do now?
So there's a lawsuit for what's her name? Lauren Picote. I don't know your name, girl. But that's your name, and you were his former assistant, I believe, Lauren Piscotta. Yeah, and he's basically inappropriate behavior. I don't know exactly what it is, so all of this is alleged. It's a lawsuit that was filed, but I follow my girl Impressive, so definitely go watch Impressive's channel for the full-on story. But basically, she was focusing in on like a key person, allegedly. Again, all of this is alleged. On the lawsuit named Nikki Heaton, and Nikki Heaton is like an artist. Hasn't she's not mainstream, but like I'm sure people know her. And so she, I guess, was on social media telling her story about a time where she was in the studio with Kanye and Diddy and 9 other girls and her manager and this Lauren girl who's like her friend. And basically she's just talking about an experience that she had where she knew these girls, everybody in the studio was out of it. Kanye and Diddy were definitely drunk, and she alleges that they were definitely on something else, and just how everyone was just like acting up. And then for whatever reason, like they like immediately handed her a drink, and she thinks that something was in this drink, and that like everyone was clearly not in their right mind. She was being pressured to drink. She was trying to text her friend and her manager to like not drink, and they took her phone away and like put it somewhere and was like, who are you talking to? We're all here. What do you mean? Why would you want to talk to anybody not in this room? And then like her manager started drinking the drink, and she was like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden her manager was like acting weird and being different. And, like she knows like her manager is not this type of person. And then all of a sudden like the manager and all these other girls were like escorted out of the room, and old girl was in there with like, I don't know, Kanye, Diddy, and 3 other guys allegedly. And basically, she was sexually assaulted in that room. And basically it's just like, and so I know that like, they're capable of these things. And I basically, I guess like she was able to escape, went to another room, and then like saw her friend really get sexually, like, so not that there's levels, right? Old girl is claiming that
there's
like
a
her clothes and stuff, or she had like was being exposed because they were like ripping her clothes off. But her friend, she didn't go into detail, but I would assume she was like, something really terrible happened to her friend, and she's like, I was the only one sober. I knew not to drink. I was 19. Like blah 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 blah. So anyway, Impressive also is just like Bianca, his current wife, should be counting her days because obviously Kanye has been very open and vocal about like his sex addiction and porn addiction or whatever, allegedly, all those things. And so basically, like even the way that Bianca, his now wife, is like being dressed and like paraded like a little 2 cent whore, basically, that she's probably going through some things of her own. So yeah, that's the
Two
Kanye.
cent. I don't know too much about the story. I did see the girl, she was blonde, right?
Mm-hmm.
That accused him. She's very pretty. He, for some reason, well, not for some reason, we know why. Very rich men, rich and powerful men want to keep, attractive women around them as far as employment. But we all know, hey, there's probably ulterior motives to you hiring a very attractive young woman and you put her in the camp. Um, I don't know. I not to say, what happened didn't happen. I'm just saying like there's it's not looking good for him. Because why? Because when there was another lady that accused him that people kind of instantly threw out of SA. So I don't know too much on it, but there have been a lot of stories coming out about Kanye as far as how he conducts himself in a professional environment. I really
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen him, act professionally. I'm just gonna be honest. Even when he's in the middle of creating, he has these outbursts. He doesn't seem like very nice to be around, especially when he's in his zone, quote unquote. I don't know. I wouldn't want to work for anybody like that. I'm not gonna say that, when you're young and impressionable, you're like, wow, I get the opportunity to work with Kanye West. Do you know this is gonna be so big for my resume? But it's not gonna be good for your headspace when you look up and realize like you've been taken advantage of or you've been put in a
Yeah.
very, very odd predicament. And it's, your livelihood is based on whether or not you comply or not. I'd rather not be in those situations. Hence why I'd rather not share where I eat, Um, Good luck to you, girl. And as far as that Bianca lady goes, she doesn't speak. I'm very, very scared for her. But don't worry, her book is gonna come out long in life. I can see her doing a interview with Amber Rose and they're just gonna compare notes. I can already see it. So yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Everything is alleged, and good luck to everybody. Um, you see the time?
I do, and I feel like we can really wrap this up. Let's talk about some good boys really fast.
Okay.
Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. We actually decided to go to Rock House and to see game 4 when it turned into game 5. But, Boston turned around and hey, we gonna pick it back up. Shout out to Jason Tatum and LMI or LMA. They're having a little baby. I knew they were together for, you know what? I didn't know. It just wasn't in my brain like that. It's just like I would see a picture of them, but they are just not in everyone's face like that. So it's just not gonna burn in my brain that they're together. But they're together now. She is expecting, so I'm very happy. They look so happy together. Actually, he is definitely
He's fine
a
as well.
guy.
You
Yes,
can have
that's
him though.
somebody.
I still want to go with the other
Well,
one first.
he's already taken, but yes, I would
Well,
definitely go with that. He's
so is my
hot.
man, and that didn't stop you.
Your man. That's the funny part. Honey, we got to get these yours, ours, mine. I don't
No,
know.
we are not no money long. Okay.
Ours. Also, congratulations to Nelly and Ashanti. Ashanti is bumping, okay? She is
Yeah.
mad pregnant as well. But I
Yeah.
didn't know that they were married for 6 months. Did you?
Congratulations. No, girl. Why would I know? Are we friends? I did not know.
The rhetoricals,
I
honey,
found
the
out.
rhetoricals. You,
Yes.
you, can we talk about these rhetorical questions that I
I
would
knew you were
literally
gonna
ask?
come for me. Yes.
Y'all be so weird. I'm like, I'm literally asking rhetorical questions and y'all are literally answering them. I'm like, y'all are so strange.
Love you.
It must be the
I'm
periods.
like, friend? Why would you ever refer to this man as our friend? What are you talking
I'm
about?
literally speaking rhetorically. Thank you so much. I'm like, why do I have to explain myself? Sorry, guys. That was just, that's another story for the other day. Oh, I forgot to talk about that with my catch up. Whatever, I'll talk about it later. Um, yeah, y'all, congratulations to Nelly and Ashanti. Who would have thought, spinning the block 20 years later, what would result in getting married and having kids. To anybody from my past, don't try it
Right?
because no.
I don't
Oh,
know.
which mean I don't know.
I've had so many in the past. I'm like, how y'all doing? Who's rich?
I can look back now and only one looks like they're doing okay, but they are a liar. They like are a pathological liar, so they might just be lying for the gram again.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you
Well,
know who you are,
next.
sir.
Bye.
Also, let's talk about this. Juneteenth. Juneteenth, you already celebrated Juneteenth with the folks, but the rest of us celebrated with Kendrick Lamar and Gangchella. That was a time, okay? They not like us. Why is that like now the national anthem of Juneteenth? Because they're not like us. And here's the thing. People think it's all about Drake. Ooh, this is a whole concert to diss Drake. Like, no, nigga. This is literally like this is representing culture. Just like Kendrick said it himself. Hey, the West Coast has not been in a good place since Nipsey died, since Kobe died. Like, they've lost so many legends and they're just not unified. So many gangs, so many different like territories. But in that one moment, they all got on stage and they just decided to, you know what, we gonna have us a gang hoedown outside together and join hands in unity to diss this nigga. But at the same time, just celebrate like, hey, they not like us. Like, it's funny because that song is so crazy to be a diss, but it means so many different things. He performed it 5 times.
5 times. I love that ish. More artists should really do that. Like, just play your hits. Just like roll it back, because that's what we really came here for. Okay.
And the thing is, a lot of people who think like when you hear the headline, oh, he performed it 5 times. Like, no, 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 no. He did the intro first. He did the first couple of lines, couple of bars. He stopped. He's like, no, 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 no. We gotta bring it back, bring it back. And the crowd is like, whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Start
then
it
he
over.
gonna he did it again. And then the crowd, he literally didn't even say any words the second time. The whole crowd just saying it word for word. Literally, they just like, and he just like, see, hold it, hold it, hold it. One more time. And then he brought out like the freaking fireworks and just came out and he had dancers. We're like, this nigga really killing it right now. And then people just got in the moment and just came up on stage and really just started like dapping each other up, start crip walking. Russell Westbrook started crip walking. I'm like, what are you doing? You saw LeBron in the crowd. You had everybody in the crowd. You had Chloe in the crowd. You had, who else you had? Northwest. You had Kendrick and his whole family there. First off, Northwest is outside. Y'all better watch out for that.
Outside. I'm
Y'all better watch
very
out.
intrigued on who this young lady will be. Okay, like she's comical. Anyway.
I'm already a fan, okay? Like, she just gets her mom together, and I love it. And then she loves her dad, but I hope that, she understands
Mm-hmm.
who her dad is. Like, he's a good dad, but, but, nonetheless,
We'll talk about
nonetheless.
family in a little bit. We're keep teasing it. Okay.
Right, look, let's go
Stay
ahead
tuned. Keep listening.
we'll go ahead and segue into it. But long story short, it was just an interesting thing to see, an event to watch. It's definitely going to go down in Juneteenth history. Kendrick really, really brought down the house, and it's for someone who is a fan of hip hop, like the evolution of hip hop, and like the fact that so many people have made a way out of no way, just expressing their anger, living in the streets of Compton, living in the streets of Chicago, living in the streets of Atlanta, growing up in Brooklyn, Queens, all of that. And they decided to turn that pain into profit. It's an amazing thing to see. And for that one day when I saw that piece, it was just like, wow, beautiful. So beautiful. Happy Juneteenth, guys.
The last thing I want to say about Juneteenth, which is a little off, but people were going down to Montgomery, Alabama, where the brawl took place, and taking pictures with old Cap dude. You know,
That's hilarious.
Isn't that so funny? I love us. Yeah.
I would do that too if I really
like
just
us.
had no nerve, if I just didn't have anything to do. Yeah, let's take a picture with these chairs, you know? You posing next to this white chair. Shit. Ooh, they hate us so bad. Oh my gosh.
They not like us. They not like us.
They are talking cash money. You niggas. You already got a month, and now you want to act up on the day. Yes. That was the most, somebody said this is the most Saturday is Wednesday I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I was outside. Okay, I didn't get home until 11:20. Woo, I had work the next day. Anyway, all right. Well, thanks, y'all. Thanks for listening to all of our extra thoughts, our catch-ups, and our extra extras. And it is now time for our main topic, where we're talking about family matters. If you've been listening to, a few episodes of the podcast, we've talked about parents. We had the parenting episode, which I feel like I appreciate. I need to run that back. But parenting was probably one of the first-ish times that I feel like I've talked about my family dynamics, things like that. The last couple of episodes in my catch-up have kind of been centered on my stepmother and the things that we are going through. So listen back if you're not caught up. But we had our conversation, because last I said we were going to, I was suggesting a mediated conversation. And she was like, yeah, let's talk one-on-one. So we had our one-on-one combo, okay? And it went okay.
Now, do you want me to go ahead and do mine first? Actually, yeah, let me just go ahead and, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because you was about to, y'all know y'all girl Erica, she was about to go.
About to be the next 25 minutes.
I know. I was just like, see, you already fucking up the flow. We was doing well. Let's hold it. Hold
it. Go ahead.
Right there. Okay. So, family matters.
What? Get that tongue together today.
This is the second time. I've done okay.
What was the name of our podcast?
What is the name? Extra. Damn.
You're like, did you pick it?
Check it off. So, the thing is with family, a family teaches us a lot of things. Along with Juneteenth, we can't just ignore the fact that Father's Day happened. I just want to quickly say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers that are in everyone's life. Even me, like, I don't have a dad, but I still acknowledge him on Father's Day. And I acknowledge all the fathers that are active in my cousin's life and, who have, really just laid the way and just taught me so many things about life and men and dating and stuff like that. Because, you have some women out here that really don't have, that. They really don't know what to go off of. They're just going off of, unfortunately, TV shows. And they come from the infantilized minds of some men and women, and they're not really looking at the reality of life. So I want to acknowledge, like, my uncles. Thank you so much for being in my cousin's life. I actually said, happy Father's Day to everybody that's a dad, because honestly, you all are needed. People joke around a lot, especially in the Black community, about Father's Day. What's that? Or the moms, they want to celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day. Don't do that. But what I've learned from all of them is that, I know I seem like that woman that doesn't really care for men too much. And that's not really the case. I actually truly, truly appreciate guys for what they do, who they are. And I just have a more realistic headspace about, how to date and stuff. What I've learned and what they've taught me, and granted, I'm I'm working with old school men. It's just, hey, men are going to be men until they prove to you that they're more than just a man, you know? Um, that's why I was just like, you know what? I can't be afraid to really come out here and date because the thing about dating that scares me and with keeping up with my personal appearance and stuff is that, okay, I'm gonna run into guys that just see me as a body part, someone that may need to work out or someone that's just perfect as is, you know? But what I've learned is like, men are visual creatures. Men are, they're not hard to really grasp. But you have to understand that at the end of the day, they are humans and animals at the same time. Visual creatures is just who they are. But there's the difference between a grown man and a grown boy. Age really does not define whether you are mature or not, because you can run into somebody that is 50 years old and act like a little boy, and you can run into somebody who's like 2-3 years younger than you, who it's like they've been here for a lifetime. That's all I want to say about that. That's just my contribution to this particular episode. Shout out to all the dads out there, and to those who want to be dads. Understand why you want to be a father and what you want to contribute. So that's it for that. All right, take it away, Erica.
Yeah, the what has family taught you? That's so funny because I feel like my catchphrase is like, what is family? What is it? I don't know. I don't really know if I mean, I've experienced it, but it's not like the movies. It's not. So yeah, my conversation with my stepmom. So first things first, I texted her that morning. I should have texted her the day before to be like, okay, let's like really plan this out. But also she could also take some initiative. She's 65 years old. So facts or not. So she, I texted her that morning. But this is something that I want to do and I'm driving, so I should be doing it. So, I texted her that morning. It was like 10:30 or whatever. And I was like, hey, we want to talk. What time works for you? The afternoon, evening-ish works good for me because I thought I was going to go outside and like run all these errands and then maybe like 5 o'clock, like we could chat it up. But she ended up just calling me directly at like 12:30. It was like, this is a good time for you? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I'm just in my robe, not doing not a single real thing. Was about to start getting ready, but yeah, whatever. She was outside running errands, which I think was very interesting to me because I'm like, was this not like a serious enough conversation for you to like dedicate time, space, like 100% focus? Because in our conversation, she definitely was like, oh, no, hold on. And I'm like, no, I'm just being vulnerable and telling you about my lived experience and in the middle of a story, but I'll hold on. So that's my first little thing that I have to say, but we're going to look past that. I will bring it up because I don't know how to sell this succinctly, but we will have to establish rules. We will have to establish rules on how to have this conversation because it can't go like how it went. Even though I'm saying that it was okay, it needs to be more productive and it needs to be a better conversation. With the first rule being, have dedicated time for me, maybe. She basically took back that she does not want to do mediated therapy. So I'm like, you said you were going to do it. And she was like, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, we need these rules if we're going to have a conversation the way that she wants to have it. But I'm going to give it maybe 2 good more conversations. And that's it. And I'm going to be like, it's not a safe space for me, and we're going to have to talk about it somewhere else.
You already kind of feel that way. Not to interrupt.
Already, 1,000%. You are 1,000% correct. I'm already going against how I would like to have this happen to try once again to, cape to her. And I'm like, it'd be nice if you actually like did some things for me one of these days, but that's cool. So Yeah, there was a lot of interruptions in our conversation, so that's another rule that I would have. How about we don't interrupt each other? Also, let's make sure that we're talking about our relationship. There were a lot of times in the conversation where she wanted to bring in like something that somebody else did or something that somebody else had something to say about, and I'm like, nah, that's not my problem. That's not what I have an issue with. Like, let's stay on me. Let's focus this conversation on our relationship. So yeah, I basically just told her that I don't feel like she has the emotional capacity, like not that she doesn't have, but I just feel like I don't believe. Okay, I think I started by saying like the physical things you did great. Like you provided, right? I had a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food in my tummy. I was fed, right? All of those things. Cool, 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 cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate those. As I reflect as an adult, what I feel like I would like more of, or what I feel like is missing, and where we have a disconnect in our relationship, is because there hasn't been like emotional care for me or like a space for emotional well being, right? I think all of our conversations are really task oriented. Have you washed the dishes? Did you vacuum? Did you make your bed? Is the bathroom clean? Like, it was very much so like, what chore are you supposed to be working on? Not even like, did you, like, it was, how was soccer practice? How was school today? We didn't really have those kinds of conversations on a regular basis. Like, maybe my dad would ask and we'd be at dinner and we'd talk about it or whatever. Anyway, whatever. I didn't feel like, as my mother who's supposed to love and care for me, right? You are my mother, right? You're my stepmom. And that's already a disconnect, right? But like, as the parent, you should care. You should be checking in on like how your person is really, really actually doing. Okay. So that didn't happen. And so I shared that with her, that like all of our conversations were around tasks or like criticism. You're like, slow down.
Mhm. Because I can tell, like, we're not gonna have a extra little just advice that the Father's Day thing was just all I had. So I want you to really get to like really breathe and like tell how you feel. That's why you got this time. You're okay, Erica. I do want you to long story short, like you decide to have this conversation with her and it's not focused on the actual issue at hand. So,
Um, I don't think she's at a space yet where she has the ability to take accountability for her part. Um, every time that I was trying to bring up a example, which we don't have time for me to really go into every um, thing specifically, but like, I don't know if I've talked about this example, but my father was diagnosed with cancer in 2020, and we were trying to be there for him, literally, because I still lived at home. I could physically show up for him. And I remember calling him after he had communicated to us about his diagnosis that, I was going to come and spend the weekend. Like, I was like, okay, like, maybe not this weekend, but like next weekend, I will come and like hang out, we'll do the weekend. And he was like, okay. So that weekend comes and I show up and I walk in. I still had a key. Walked in, announced myself, hi, Erica's here, it's me, Erica, hi. And then my, stepmom comes out and is just like, Erica, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm just here for the weekend. And Dad didn't tell you? No, Dad didn't tell me. Why are you here? Well, I should have known you were here. Somebody should have told me you were here. Like, you don't know what we doing, how we be living, and what we be doing over here. Like, I could be naked in the house and like blah blah blah. And I love being naked in the house, so you very well could be. It's an enjoyable activity. But it's just very interesting to me that like mostly what I think about is like I see all these videos on social media that are like, oh my gosh, like I surprised my parents or my child surprised me or blah 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 blah, 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 blah. And everyone, even though they are so surprised, they are always embraced, right? Like, oh my
yeah.
god, it's
I know
been.
I am. If I popped up, my mom would be like, "Oh, hey. Oh, I didn't bring no food. Like, let me go grocery shopping real fast." Simple.
Yeah, yeah. uh I never once got a hug, never once was like, let me take
Hmm.
your bags. welcome. It was just like, I didn't know you were coming, so how dare you are here. By the way, this is the story that I'm sharing with her, where she's like, hold on, and is in the store doing whatever, talking to whoever she got to talk to, running her errands. And yeah, basically she was makes excuses for everything, right? I didn't know you were coming. And this is what my therapist warned me about. My therapist was like, that's not a good example, right? I cried with my therapist because I was like, why is that not a good example that like really to me conveys what I'm wanting from her? And she's just like, well, it's not a good example because she's gonna find something else to point to. Like, why didn't you call her? Why didn't she know? And that's exactly what she did. She was like, why didn't you? Because we don't have that relationship. It's also, I, regardless, shared that I was coming. It's not my fault that you and my father don't pillow talk the way y'all supposed to be pillow talking, and he didn't catch you up. Have an issue with him. Greet me like your child who you love and care for. Unless you don't love and care for me, which, duh, I know that. So, literally, yeah, that's what she said. She just focused on the didn't know you were coming, didn't know you were coming. And I'm just like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. We just had a long conversation about different things. She basically did not see her side in anything. I know I was holding a lot of space for her. She eventually told me the story that I knew she was going to tell me, because this is not a story that I have of my own memory. It is a story that she has repeated to me in every circumstance of like punishment or like why I'm a terrible human being, is because, when I was 6 years old or however old I was when like she first entered into our life. And yeah, it's a kind gesture, right? She bought me a raincoat. I probably needed it. She got me a purple one. It was in a color that I liked. Purple was my favorite color at the time. And apparently I received it by saying, you can get back in your dirty white car and take it back. Which does sound like me. But also, I'm 6, you're 40. She proceeded to tell me in this example that my dad told his coworkers about this story. And all his coworkers were like, she should leave. She should go. She shouldn't have to. If that was, I wouldn't tolerate that from no little kid, no little la 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 la. And I was just like, you should have left. You should have. If this is really so terrible for you to hear and it hurt your feelings and it made you feel unloved and you did not feel safe in that environment, you did not feel welcomed, you should leave. I don't go to the environments where I'm not wanted. I don't force myself on people who don't want me, hence us not talking. I don't stay around spaces if I really truly was like, that's the worst thing that could have ever happened, and how dare she, she should have divorced, and if that's how you felt as a 40-year-old, and you knew it was going to be difficult to get me on your side or to love me or for me to love you, and you don't have the ability to do that and the well-being, you're prioritizing that, you absolutely should, because I would. So yeah, you should have. And she just looked at me like, we were not looking at each other. We were literally on the phone, but she was just like, what? What? And I'm like, yeah, I want to apologize. What I'm hearing from you is that you felt unloved and that you didn't feel cared for and you felt unwelcome. And I want to apologize to you because you do not deserve that. You don't deserve that. You did not need to experience that. You should not. No one deserves that. So I apologized. I apologize for that and anything that I have done, and I hope that we can continue to explore that. And she was like, oh, well, I thank you. I appreciate that. And then proceeded to just talk about how bad I am. Just still even, I was like, and that's what I'm looking for. I literally told her, I was like, and that's what I'm looking for from you. Like, just repeat that formula of like, I acknowledge, I see you, and I'm sorry. Nope. She was just like, well, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what she said because it wasn't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it seemed like she just continued to fall into that. You know what? You also should apologize for how else you act and and not even acknowledging like, hey, I probably contributed to this issue as well. It's like,
I gave her an example of my twin nieces that are my stepbrothers. So her literal grandchildren by blood. My stepbrother's two little girls who are like 7 or 8. I don't know them because I don't know the family. We don't, what is family? So, they're just young girls. They're cute. I follow them on social media. All great. Um, they're, again, like the age that I was, my older sister at least. My little sister was very young. But me and my older sister were probably that age when she entered into our lives. And so I was like, can you look at it from like that point of view? Like, what if their parents, who they love, being together, just separated? Do you think that they would, as children, 7 years old, would be like, who's my new mommy? Yay, mommy! So excited. Like, at 7, I definitely don't think that you have that skill set. Maybe as you get older and as a parent, you come in and you show that you're just really here for them, about them, like you want nothing else but the best, and you like literally show that, and you try to emotionally connect with these hoes, like maybe that's when things would be like, oh, okay, so she's not that bad, it's not the worst, blah blah blah. But like, I don't know any child who's going to look at a strange person and be like, this is what I would like. Can you
I wouldn't.
understand that?
I wouldn't. Again, that's why I'm like happy. Even like my dad, like he passed when I was 26. So my mom and her boyfriend, y'all do y'all. I can't imagine having to live with them, and that's just gonna be my life now. Children are very concrete. They don't lie to you. Well, some do, but that's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be honest.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, she really didn't have, she just wasn't holding space for me. Long story short, she wasn't holding space for me. She was basically like, when I was like, I think we should end the conversation because I don't think that this is being as productive as maybe the beginning of the conversation was. We were on the phone for 75 minutes, and probably around like the 45, 50-minute mark, it was when it was like, I think, she kept interrupting me, but, she was trying to do it in a kind-ish way where she'd be like, can I ask a question? Or I have a question. Can I ask a question? And then would not ask a question. She would just proceed to like tell me an example of when I was bad, right? And all the things that she didn't even give an example of me. She was talking about so many other people. So I'm like, what did I do? That's why I was like, when she got to the purple jacket, I was like, that's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. Because what are the other examples that you're talking about? That's not me, nor is it what I have a problem or an issue with you on. So the things that you're recalling, I'm like, no, that's not it. I'm cool with that. I don't have an issue. Oh, that wasn't it. No, my issues are all around the emotional space. Mine are all there, and you're not bringing up any issues around me specifically and you creating a safe emotional space for me. So, I mean, yeah, she basically was like, when I was like, we should have a mediated conversation, she was just like, are you going to have a conversation with everybody? Are you going to talk to everybody? Are you going to talk to your dad? Are you going to talk to Brittany? Or like, are you going to talk to your
Girl,
siblings? And I was like, absolutely.
stop. Stop me and
Absolutely.
you.
I need to work on my relationships with everybody. And I would like to start with you. And she asked me to not talk about this, about her, our journey. And I already told her, can't do it. First and foremost, like, it helps me because one, I need someone to provide an outside perspective of like what I'm seeing. And it's so funny because she was throwing my dad under the bus throughout this whole entire conversation, like your dad should have did this and he could have did that and la la la, right? And I was like, as much as you feel like my dad, is one-sided or doesn't share all the information or blah 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 blah, for me, it was, he's always defending you. That's my problem with my father. Is like, you've never really had my back. Like, you really love this hoe, but like, do you love me? Like, so he always has your back, girl. So if I talk to him, just know that he's always being like, oh, she didn't mean that, or blah blah blah, right? So there's that. My sisters, they're my sisters. I'm gonna talk to them. My friends, they're my friends. I'm gonna talk to them. This is my podcast and my life. As I recall, you always got on the phone and you was talking about how awful we were all the time, every day. This my phone.
This is the phone,
This
okay?
my phone. Okay. And also, don't do it. I wouldn't have nothing to talk about. I wouldn't even, this conversation could look different if you held actual space for me and like apologized. But you're not doing that yet. So I'm not doing that yet. I'm not doing nothing you're not doing. And that's how I feel, which maybe is not great, but I'm the child.
You
I'm the
know,
child. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I know we're like literally at 1 minute. The last thing I want to say, which is awkward, well, two things. She was like, Brittany, my stepsister, sorry, y'all. She has things to say about your father, and how she could have felt. And I'm like, she should, and she should talk about it. So again, why are you bringing up people who aren't related to this conversation? She could have her issues. I'm having my issues with you, and we're about to talk about it. So I don't care about that. Also, I know my dad's not perfect. I know no one is perfect. What you can't seem to understand is that you're not perfect. So let's get with that. And also, she was trying to end the conversation with like, love you. And I was very much so like, why are you trying to have me lie to you right now? Because I don't. We haven't talked in 2 years. You think I love someone I haven't talked to in 2 years? I also think that applies to how you feel about me. Because if we haven't talked in 2 years and you can't start with an apology or any kind of acknowledgement, I'm like, this is crazy. Anyway, we'll have to see how this gets edited because we're about to go into the hour
You
plus.
welcome to the fun part. Now, look,
Honestly,
go ahead.
the 1 hour editing was super quick, so I'm like, I wonder what this extra little few
It's not gonna be
second
fun.
minutes are gonna be. Listen, I was doing the edits in like 40 minutes. You saw I was creeping into social media. I was like, you need help? So,
You about to
um,
find out. It's not.
yeah,
It's just annoying, but you just gotta do some extra stuff. But I mean, it's up to you. Did you want to?
okay. That's really all that I had to talk about. So yeah, we'll see how the future conversations go. Um, I don't necessarily feel like they're going to be great without someone to mediate them, because I think she needs someone to let her see herself that she is interrupting. Like, what was the question that you wanted to interrupt for? Or for someone to also be like, well, hold space. Did you hear what Erica was talking about? Did you acknowledge that? Or are we going to go into another scenario? Like, can you hold? So that's another rule, is like, we're going to one example for one conversation. That's what we're going to focus on. You bring one and I bring one. We're not talking about any other examples outside of this one, because you can't just be like, well, this, because that's not how we. So, how are we going to make sure that where could you have done better in this scenario? Where could I have done better in this scenario? And let's like take accountability on one scenario, because I keep taking accountability and you keep pointing to another scenario that I should take accountability for, and I keep swallowing that ish, I'm choking now. So when you can take some accountability, like share this space, because it takes two, honey. So I'm telling you, I'm sorry you felt unloved for my 6 year old behavior, but you were 40.
And you've kind of created a whole life for me, and also, this relationship affects how I walk around the world as an adult now. You're not even 40. You want to get married, you want to have children, and you are not even probably entertaining the fact that you could be a stepmom after this whole situation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. No, part of me feels like I don't want children. But also I feel like I would want, maybe we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll find healing love. Part of me feels like maybe I'll be like Jeannie Mai to find some healing love, and then I'll have a child, but like hopefully it doesn't end like Jeannie Mai.
I was like,
Um
I don't know if that was real. I don't know. Maybe it seemed like it was real, but maybe that was just a honeymoon phase, you know?
yeah, you never know. But yeah, we'll see. Part of me thinks about adopting and being like, let me just start at like a 10-year-old. But yeah, other than that, I could tell another example of things that I have shared with her, but I'm like, maybe we should keep that to a separate time. So y'all know I got examples of all throughout life. They'll probably continue to be brought up in future conversations and scenarios. But yeah, that was overall my conversation with my stepmom. I haven't talked to my dad about it really, because it was like Father's Day the next day, literally.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want you to ruin my. He literally told me, he's like, I don't want to be upset today, and I was just like, okay, I understand, I get you, because you're gonna be spending the day with her, and I'm sure that like if I share what I share, it's not gonna be necessarily like the best day. So I haven't talked to him about it, and I did tell my sisters, both of them actually, and everyone was very proud of me. They're just like, I'm so proud This is so difficult. Like, you a good one. And I'm just like, yeah, thanks. My therapist had great things to say. I'm like, yeah, it's so interesting. Like, I don't know how I feel about this feedback yet. Like, I'm just like, I appreciate it. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm equipped. I feel like I've been doing good work. So I feel good about it. Like, we've been doing the work to get here, to have these kinds of conversations. But I'm also just like, what is this going to do for me? Like, let's say that this isn't a problem. Like, and then I start looking like, what, am I going to be happy? Like, what does this mean now? Like, and depends on how it goes, right? Like, if it goes well or it doesn't go well. Like, I don't know. I guess I just get caught up in like, what is that going to mean? What is that? Do I need to be focusing on these things? Do I need them? Can I put my space and time and energy elsewhere? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing that I was going to say is she brought up an example of how I had a friend that I'm not friends with anymore, that she kicked out the house in the middle of the night because I'm not allowed to have sleepovers. And I couldn't remember this scenario for when she was telling me it, but I remember it now. And I just think that that's an interesting thing that she was concerned about. I'm like, you really did feel bad about kicking out like a 19-year-old. I don't know how old we were. 21. It doesn't matter. But like, we were not older than 23 because I definitely didn't live at home past that age. So, yeah, we were younger. I'm just like, thank God that I remember her being like tired. Like, I remember being like, come on through because you got a 40-minute drive home. You can just sleep on the floor, like right in my bedroom. Like, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But it was, I guess. And she definitely woke up. She said it was something, my spirit was talking to me. I was like, that was the devil in you awakening and coming to kick my friend out. You don't know if she was drunk or tired. She just said she was tired. Tired driving is just as bad, they say, as a DUI. But good thing she didn't die.
That's why people end up driving off the road. Like, you heard about that nurse that like drove off of like the edge of the parking lot because she was just sleep deprived. Like, it just lets you know like what where her priority lies, and it's for her personal comfort and to uphold her personal boundaries. And you know, I kind of like what you said. Hey, y'all need to create rules to have these conversations. And I hope, you know, you guys get there because, you know, at that age, it's kind of hard to do new things, but
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I definitely, the rules are extremely important. I feel like there was something that I was going to say. Yeah, the rules are really important. We'll see how this goes. I don't have big faith. I'm also just like annoyed. Why did you say you were going to do it and then be like, nah? She was also very much so like, we ain't got to talk about the past. And I was like, if we don't talk about the past, how am I going to enter into spaces in the future? You know, like, how do I know that you learned the lesson? How do I know that you're not going to do anything if I don't get to tell you what you did and how it made me feel? You're not going to know anything to know how to interact with me in the future. So why would I go into spaces that I feel like we didn't talk about anything? So we're supposed to just like, hi, like, here we are. Okay, we're going to try and do better. Let's just try and do better. Do better how, though? Do you know what I don't like? Do I know what you don't like? How are we going to do better if we don't talk about how we didn't do good in the past? It's because you have to take some accountability and you don't want to do that ish. So anyway, that's it. That's what I got for y'all. We'll see how it goes.
Look, guys, you know, wish Erica good luck with editing. I think it'll be fine. You'll just be quite annoyed with the process. So
okay. I'm like, you'll just show me. I'm like, do I just do the same thing again for like the second half of the episode?
Well, actually, what you will do this time is what you'll do first is, well, we'll talk about it off.
We'll talk about it. Yeah. I was like, you ain't gonna tell people. But thanks for listening, y'all. I appreciate y'all for holding emotional space. That's really what this is. It's emotional space for me because I don't have it where I would like it. And if you don't want to give it, then this is where I gotta go get it. My older sister is very much so like, find your own family. And I'm like, I guess. So that's what.
And that's so sad. Oh. And this is what you'll do.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll continue Thanks for being my family, my Just Extra fam. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Jack, for hearing me again. And we will catch you on the next episode. If you have questions, want advice, you can email us at justextra podcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social media. We're on TikTok and Instagram at justextra_podcast. You can follow Jackie at all things J, and you can follow me, Erica, at Erica_stay ready. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.